I'm Bill Hearn, and that's the first solo in my book, 101 Easy Ukulele Solos, published by Mel Bay. That piece is called Hawaii Blues, and it's a solo because it sounds perfectly good if you don't sing. And that's true of all the other pieces in the book. You don't have to sing to make them sound good. If you do like to sing, some of them have lyrics, and you can sing along if you like. But this is a book also for people who'd like to play the ukulele as a solo instrument. So what I'm going to do in this lesson is teach you how to play Hawaii Blues. You'll notice it was a very easy piece. It's mostly open strings. And also explain how to read tablature, which is the main way to read the music in the book. Okay, next we're going to talk a little bit about some terms that you'll need to understand to read tablature, and you probably know these already, but I'll go through them again just in case you don't. The first one to know about is what a fret is. And officially a fret is this piece of metal that runs under the strings. Here, 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 and here. Most ukuleles have anywhere from 12 to about 15 of them. I don't know exactly how many mine has, probably more than 15. But musicians like to use this word another way, and this is a little sloppy, but this is really the way we usually use it. A fret is also the space. And so the first fret is the space from here to this first piece of metal. This is the second fret. This is the third fret. This is the fourth fret. This is the fifth fret, etc. So that's the way we use the word fret a little more often. So if you're playing right here, you'd be playing in the fourth fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. We count them from that side. The other thing you want to make sure you're counting the same way as everybody else is what order the strings are in. The official way to do it is to start at the bottom. This is the first string on the bottom. This is the second. This is the third. This is the fourth. It would make just as much sense to order them the other way, but whoever did it first, whoever he or she was, did it from the bottom up. Actually, most people, when I ask them, they like to do it the other way, but this person thought a little strangely, oddly. So this is the first string, the bottom one. And this causes a lot of confusion, so I sometimes refer to them as colored strings also. And you can get strings with actual colors. I've done that on a picture over to the side here as we go through this video. Picture of a ukulele. I've colored the strings to match the colors you can get with these commercial sets. And what they do is they color the bottom string blue. The next string up is yellow. The next string up, they'll color red. And the last string up, the top one, they color green. So those are the colors in these colored strings. They actually match boom whacker colors, which are some instruments that are used in elementary music education. I think that's why they chose those colors. And I'll refer to the strings by their colors as well as their numbers and their pitches, just to make sure we're all on the same page as far as what string we're using. So I'm going to play a piece. This isn't exactly how tablature works, but this is pretty close. Now imagine that you already knew the rhythm to something, and all you needed to do to play the tune was to know what fret to play in. So what we could do is we could write the lyrics, just so you'd know kind of what the rhythm was, and then we could write the number of the frets you'd play in. And so this would be fret 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you plucked the string and didn't do anything, it would be fret 0. So here's Jingle Bells that way. It would go like this. And you saw over to the side as I played that I had the lyrics going by with the numbers that corresponded to what fret I was playing on, with 0 for the open string. And I played it all on the bottom string, the one that's colored blue in the diagram. That's officially the first string, or also sometimes called the A string, but you can think of it as the blue string here. And I've also, when we get to tablature, I'm going to color the lines that way. That's not done in commercial versions, but it's a good way to start. You can mark them in your own music just a little bit if you've got some colored pencils if you'd like to do that. So we'll move to playing Hawaii Blues from the tablature in the next slide, and I'll show you how that would work with a piece that used all 4 strings. Now we've played Jingle Bells on 1 string, and we've got a great way to write that down. The only problem, of course, is that a ukulele has 4 strings. So what we're going to do is have a line for each string in full tablature. And it works this way, and there's one kind of weird thing about it. We're going to have a line for the first string, or the blue string, or the A string, whichever you want to call it. We're going to have a line for the second string, or the E string, or the yellow string. You're also going to have a line for the third string, or the C string, or the red string, whichever one you want to call it. Then you're going to have a line for the fourth string, the G string, or the one we've colored green here. And you'll see there's one kind of weird thing about that, is that we've chosen to flip the lines upside down. The line for the string that's on the bottom as you hold the ukulele, the first string, the one I've colored blue, the one that's also tuned to an A most of the time, that string's on the top of the tablature. And the second string is the next one down. The third string, or the red string, is the next one down from there. And the fourth string, the one that's on the top as you hold the ukulele, is on the bottom line of the tablature, the green one. So that's one reason I've used these colors. People get mixed up about that all the time. So the blue line is for the first string, the yellow line's for the second string, the red line's for the third string, and the green line's for the fourth string. And you're right, it's upside down. So I don't know how somebody came up with this. Maybe they're one of these people who hung their head over like this or learned to play the ukulele with it flat in their lap. But it's backwards. And there may be some reasons for this, but they're kind of hard to explain with a ukulele in particular, so you just kind of have to get used to it. And that's one reason I've colored the strings. It helps people keep which string is straight. So remember, the number tells you what fret to play in. So if there's a 4, you play in the 4th fret. And you know which string to do it on by which line it's on. And we're going to try and play Hawaii Blues with the tablature in the very next slide here. Okay, now I'm going to play some of Hawaii Blues, and I'm going to play it with some real simple rhythms, which is actually how it's written in the book if you look at the rhythm signs. But later on you can jazz it up, which is how I played it at the beginning of this video, which is a little more fun. You can jazz up pieces all on your own. You don't have to wait for permission. So here's how it works. Most of the piece is one very simple rhythm, and rhythm and one little simple riff, and it works like this. You're going to play the third or red string twice without fretting it, so that's the 0 fret. Then you're going to play the yellow string once without fretting it, the 0 fret. Then the green string once, and then the blue string once. Now I got fancy over here and plucked it with different fingers, but you could do this all with your thumb if you're just starting. And put that together. It sounds like this in a nice simple rhythm. Or here's exact rhythm written in the book. Now in some tablatures above what I'm showing here, you'll see some rhythm signs, but we'll talk about those in another lesson. So here's the first riff, and to play the piece, what you're going to do is just to do this first riff or motive or lick or whatever you call it 3 times like this. Now you're going to play one other little motive, which is really easy. You can do it with one left-hand finger, and that would work like this. You're going to play on the red string at the 3rd fret, then at the 2nd fret, then the open string or 0 fret, and then you're going to play a chord, which is, if we are a little loose with our terminology, which you can do on ukulele, is anytime you play more than 1 string. Officially 2 strings is an interval, but we won't worry about that too much. Here's a chord. And the way we write that, if you're going to strum it all at once, is you just stack the numbers on top of each other. So got a 0 on the 4th string, a 0 on the 3rd string, a 0 on the 2nd string, and then a 3 on the 1st string. Or if I refer to that by the colors, a 0 on the green string, a 0 on the red string, a 0 on the yellow string, and a 3 on the blue string, all strummed together. And if you already read chord charts, that's probably the first chord you ever learned on a ukulele, a C chord. So here's the first part of Hawaii Blues in a nice simple rhythm, and you can watch the tablature go by. We start with the first riff or lick 3 times, and then that second one. So it goes like this. Here's the second part. Kind of works the same way. We're going to do a riff or motive 3 times, and the riff or motive goes like this. You're going to play on the red or 3rd string at the 2nd fret, then the red or 3rd string at the 3rd fret, then the yellow or 2nd string, open, then the green string, then the blue string. Put that all together, it goes like this. And what you do is you do that 3 times. You could call that riff 3, and then you play riff 2 again, and you're done with the second part of the piece. So put it all together, it goes like this. And here's the whole piece in a nice simple rhythm. However, it's a little more fun to play it a little jazzier. I didn't write it that way in the book because the rhythmic notation makes it look a little harder if you do that. But you can certainly jazz up pieces by other people. There are no ukulele police. There's no people driving around in little cars that look like ukuleles with a blue light on the back. I have never encountered such a vehicle. So here it is, jazzed up, the same way I played it at the first, making a little more bluesy rhythm. It would go like this.